Hi, I'm Heyzeus, and this video is on the death of the second major cash out site in the history of CSGO, Bitskins. And if you haven't heard about this, Bitskins is going to be shutting down, and this video is going to look at why this has happened more or less out of the blue. So we're going to go straight to the statement made by the CEO of Bitskins. He posted on the Global Offensive Trade subreddit, and we'll have a read. Quote, "Over the past few years, we've had the pleasure of serving the community. After years of service, we believe it's time for us to move on to other projects. The decision is abrupt, but is in light of a recent situation where a user committed payment frauds at Steam and then tried to use Bitskins to sell those items. This caused Steam to restrict a few of our accounts, now unrestricted, but we are informed that this cannot happen again. Since we have no reliable way of knowing the source of items or exactly how they were acquired, we believe it is best not to allow the further possibility of a similar situation to recur. This can happen to anyone out there, which makes the above incident quite concerning for legitimate users and entities. However, we'd like to not further allow any possibility of this to happen again to our users." And he goes on to talk about what they're going to be doing, shutting down the site. You can read that for yourself if you're interested. But then he goes, "As always, Bitskins is not a store of items or funds. Please do not use it as such. Atif Nazir, CEO, Bitskins Inc." Now, you might remember last year when Valve drove OP skins out of the market. This is quite different. First of all, Atif is actually being honest with us. When OP Skins had its bots disabled, its CEO came out and said Valve just doesn't like the competition, when in reality OP Skins got shut down because it was trying to circumvent changes to the market to try and enable gambling. But this statement, on the other hand, is actually honest. Valve really is the one at fault here, and I'm going to explain just what went wrong. So our story begins with the souvenir tokens at the Berlin Major, tokens which you could get by completing challenges, but also that you could buy separately. Now, normally, when you buy something from Valve, it comes with a 7-day trade cooldown, so you can't just go and trade it right away. But these tokens had a problem. They didn't have a cooldown. Valve forgot to add it, and this is where the problems begin. Because let's say you'd stolen someone's credit card details and were looking for a way to launder the money. Well, what you could do is you could buy a heap of these tokens, convert them into packages, trade those packages to a Bitskins bot instantly because there's no trade cooldown, and then sell them really quickly, cash out the money really quickly, and then congratulations, it's payday, you've just completed the heist. So, long story short, Valve created a huge opportunity for criminal fraud through their own negligence. Now, apparently about 400,000 tokens were sold during the major, and some of them were sold to one or more individuals with stolen money, payment fraud, and it was on a big enough scale to force Valve to investigate it. Now, I've got a screenshot of a Telegram conversation between some people that know the primary culprit. The one in grey appears to have been partially involved in the scam. The guy in orange wasn't, he's just asking about it. So, according to the guy in grey, last Friday, he is referring to the fraudster, by the way, told me that some of his buyers were banned. Then he suggested I deposit in Bitskins. Obviously, he did the same thing in advance. So, the main guy involved in the payment fraud found out that Valve was banning people he was selling the video capsules to. So, he had the bright idea of trying to sell them on Bitskins instead. Massive shock though, Valve figured out what he'd done. They found the items on Bitskins and banned the bots. Now, the Bitskins owner managed to get them unbanned via Steam support. However, Steam support was not exactly collegial about it. Quite the opposite, actually. To look at the screenshot of the response he got, quote, "You arranged for stolen items to be traded to your account. All of the items you received from these trades were obtained through payment fraud. Please note that using your Steam account for commercial activity is a violation of the Steam subscriber agreement. We have removed the items added to the account since these transactions, as well as any remaining fraudulent wallet funds. These items and funds will not be restored. Do not attempt to trade money for items, or you may inadvertently become involved in payment fraud. I have unlocked your account at this time. Please note that this will be the only warning you receive. Similar behaviour on this or any related account in the future will result in a permanent lock without further notice." Now, don't confuse this with an official statement from the CSGO dev team. This is just some cunt in Steam support making life difficult for people. But basically, what he's saying is that if you accept any items obtained through payment fraud in the future, we're going to straight up ban the bots with those items, and they're going to stay banned permanently. And if you're a cash out or trading site, well, this is a big problem because you've got no way of knowing whether the item you're receiving has been obtained through payment fraud. So this creates a major business risk for them because one dodgy trade could result in their customers having thousands of dollars of their items being permanently lost due to a trade ban. And as I said, again, this is just some cunt in Steam support. It's not the CSGO dev team taking a stance against third-party sites. I mean, the Steam support guy even acknowledges they're violating the Steam terms of service, but he doesn't ban them for it, which is very telling. But even still, this is a massive hassle for anyone using a third-party site. It's a risk, and it's probably going to require quite a bit of reconfiguring of how their sites work in order to minimize that risk, and that's perfectly doable, but it's also a hell of a lot of work, and Adif from Bitskins doesn't want to do that work. And this is where there's a bit of an extra dimension to what's happened, because look, Valve has screwed up here. They created a problem and they're blaming people for it who aren't at fault. But this affects every trading site and every cash out site out there, but only one of them is shutting down, and that's Bitskins. And Bitskins hasn't exactly been run in a way that screams passion to me for a long time. A lot of features relating to depositing and withdrawing have been removed from the site over the last year. For example, crypto features have been removed, there's been limits on deposits and wallet sizes, etc. And Bitskins was likely required to do this stuff by law to make it harder to use the site for money laundering, ironically, but there's basically been no communication about it from management to the community, and that's really odd. On top of that, there's been basically no updates to the site's UI over the last couple of years. They've bumped up fees on users, they generally haven't bothered with advertising, there's been stories about support being a massive pain for users, and it all strikes me as a service that's being run by people who aren't really interested anymore. Now, don't get me wrong either. I suspect management and Bitskins has had to deal with tons and tons of bullshit over the years from users, from Valve, and from government regulations, and I think they're just sick of it. I don't think it's a case of them being greedy and lazy. I think the site is becoming a massive hassle, and as Atif says in his statement, it's time to move on to other projects. Well, as I understand it, he's already working on other projects, and I think this is just the final straw that's leading to him wrapping up Bitskins entirely. And look, long term, this isn't a massive deal. There's nothing to panic about. Valve hasn't changed their policy on third-party sites. They're not cracking down on them. A big part of the reason Bitskins is being shut down appears to be personal, and there's plenty of other cash-out sites around. They're not going anywhere, and I think they'll be happy for the extra business. And as it would happen, one of them has actually sponsored this video. So this video is sponsored by CS Deals. So you may know CS Deals is a trading site. What you might not know is that it's also got a real money marketplace. A real money marketplace, for that matter, with a sales fee of just 1%. That's right, just 1%. Compare that to the 15% or so Bitskins were charging people, and you know, it looks pretty attractive, right? You get to keep pretty much all of your money, and because it's got such a low sales fee, it's also got some of the cheapest skins because sellers aren't paying as much tax. So you can just use it as a normal trading site and trade your skins instantly using the bot, but you can also list your items for sale on the real money marketplace where you can sell your skins for money that you can actually cash out, including PayPal, obviously, but also Bitcoin, and I know a lot of people like to have that as an option. On top of that, there's even more options for cashing in. I don't even recognize some of these, which is probably a sign that it's pretty comprehensive. Now, you have a separate balance for the real money marketplace and for the trading site marketplace. The trade tokens are for the trading site and they can't be cashed out. This is because skins have a lower value in the real money marketplace. The trading site is run at Steam market prices and the real money marketplace is run at real money prices, but not to worry, you'll get a 30% bonus to your balance if you buy trade tokens to compensate for this, so you get the same value, you're not being ripped off. So great site, really good rates, maybe check it out. I mean, the Bitskins is shutting down, this is a pretty awesome alternative. In fact, as you can see, clearly I was using them before they even started paying me, and this is from back sort of March, February, January. I think this was to cash out skins from London. I think it was for that video. So, I mean, they've left the 11 cents in my balance, even after, what is it, 6 months now? See, it must be, you know, they're good people. They've let me keep that 11 cents for 6 months. You know, it's not very much money, but it's still there in my balance, and I guess that's what counts. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.